we are currently in the Diversity and Outreach Initiative. Can you kind of tell us a little bit what this office does, part of the engineering?
Well, the office does is try to kind of bridge the disconnect, I guess, between faculty, administration, and staff, and as well as students. It's basically a kind of a space to kind of administrate programs or kind of be there when things are kind of to help things, or kind of what me and my friend wrote. We put to foster conversation between all groups of people. Yeah. So this is definitely a space that was kind of meant for just students, faculty, and staff. And that way there could be a lot of collaborative events for both like the college engineering and the community around Mizzou and Columbia.
Do you get a lot of people in here usually, or like per day?
Yeah, we get quite a bit of people, and it's usually people who like regularly come, but people come here to like sleep or study. I probably would say my brother. My brother's 10 years older than me, and he started off kind of like in pharmacy and stuff, but he's computer science, and now he's like the head director of IT at the Microsoft branch in San Francisco. So like he has been kind of like my road dog into like actually understanding STEM and wanting STEM, and since he was older than me, like he was making sure like I was like learning stuff I like way beyond my way beyond like what I should have known when I was like 5 or 6 or so. As well as my mom developed multiple sclerosis, so between like my brother being an engineer and then like my mom developing an illness, I was at every single one of her appointments, and she was diagnosed heavy like when I was in high school, so that kind of struck me to wanting to do medicine, but I didn't want to go to med school. So I got here and I was like, I don't like pre-med. So I was like, oh, bioengineering is like the perfect in-between, so kind of that what struck my interest in STEM. My first year of my PhD, so I'm working with biomaterials for implantable devices, particularly like brain sensors or neurological disorders or neurodegenerative disorders, basically to develop an implant or electrode that can like last longer in the brain to help treat certain diseases, or an implant that can administrate drugs that surpass the blood-brain barrier as well. I think starting off mostly, because within biomed, like bioengineering and biomed, like a lot of my classes started off in like civil or mechanical, and I was sometimes like the only girl in classes.
Oh, yeah.
Bioengineering is kind of 50-50, so like that department isn't too bad, but like I've kind of seen, like it was just like weird being the only girl in a group and just hearing like certain comments or jokes. It was kind of, it was kind of weird, and I didn't know how to address it. Also too, kind of just growing up a little bit, I was usually one of the only females in a lot of things, and my family's pretty like, I'm pretty free spirited, so I was like that girl who wore dress but went outside and like played with like dirt and stuff. So like kind of seeing that interaction was like both weird on both sides of the spectrum. Like I got like guys were like, ooh, cool, but girls were like, why would you do that, So I've had some weird experiences, even I was in Worldwide Youth in Science and Engineering when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was the only girl in that as well. Yeah.
See engineers as like gendered, or just an engineer? Like, do you think there is that male stereotype of someone being an engineer?
In a way, yeah, but I'm seeing a lot more representation that's not that way. And I guess I just kind of been raised in a family that that didn't foster like you can't do this because you're, like I have so many like strong men and women in my family that like I did everything that I felt like. I mean, I do believe the stereotype is there, definitely, like, even when talking to companies and, like, certain things, but, like, I feel like it's starting to kind of, like, go down a little bit,
I would agree.
I mean, there's still comments here and there, like, oh, like, one of the guys I used to date, I was studying with him in engineering, and they were like, and one of his friends was like, oh, you're an engineer, and I was dressed up one day, like, I like to look cute, so I feel like it's a stereotype that engineers can't look nice, or like there's no way she can do this because she's cute. He was like, but you're so pretty, like you're an engineer. And I was like, oh, that's like so I feel like that's the I feel like a stereotype. I do see a lot of women around engineering who have told me that they prefer not to dress up, or when they do dress up for like interviews or a career fair or something, like the comments they get from other students of like, oh wow, why are you looking nice, like it can't be associated. So I think that's like probably one of the only like gender stereotypes I really do see a lot within engineering, is that as engineering, as women, we're not really associated as being women sometimes, but we are,
they're accepting it, but like they're not treating you the same as if you were
any other major.
What's your experience been with like job interviews, or like do you think anything has been different?
No, I actually liked my job interview experiences.
Really?
It has been really nice. IBE being one of them was probably like one of my favorite job experiences. For interviewing, they actually told me like they have like organizations kind of like how we have in engineering for like women in engineering, or all these different STEM clubs and like kind of what they do. So like a lot of companies that I've talked to have been very like inclusive in inviting that environment. Also too, just kind of like the way they have talked to me. Like I've had some times where people have kind of condescended like in a way, but like I think overall my interviewing experience has been like really well, and they have been, I don't know, I think they have been nice. And I got a lot of good feedback. I mean, there's times where I was like, did I not get this job, because but like the companies that do reach back and actually give me like constructive criticism of like, this is what I saw on your resume and stuff, I've had more of that experience than kind of like not
negative. Okay.
I actually did women mentoring women in engineering when we had our women's center before the inclusivity center came.
Is there a women's center here?
Well, it's housed in here.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually the center came about when me and like a group of like 6 or 7 other people in the college of engineering did a call to action, and we were like, these are things we kind of need to better improve the college or to make it more inclusive, and we thought, oh, this would be perfect, like an inclusivity center, and we didn't really want to use the word diversity because we feel like when people say diversity only means like certain things, but like inclusivity means like everyone.
I agree.
So everyone, in a space for everyone, and how do we create a space for that? So we kind of did a call to action. So when Dean LeBoa came here the first semester, we actually like divvied out a list of things, and kind of from that we did a lot of work through like the Columbia community to help uplift other women in STEM or other minorities in STEM. I really do like not only just like her innovative thinking, because she comes from Stanford, and coming from like schools in particular like Stanford, you don't really get that type of environment here at Mizzou. That was another thing, but also too, she's the first woman dean that we had, so it's actually been very like her and the way she has taken initiatives to kind of improve like the college has been like super great. I personally like she's very transparent. Like I know she has like the walk and talk with students and faculty and staff, and also like am able to set up meetings with her personally, so it's like
and her office is like right there. And it's just like I was walking to class and she's like a mini treadmill. She was like walking and I was like, what?
So it's like really cool that like she's there. Most other people or most other students in their colleges don't
even have anything
see their dean.